The wind cut sharp across the old stone bridge that arched over Grayson River, making the late afternoon feel colder than it should have been. The golden hue of the setting sun cast long shadows, but the beauty of the scene did little to ease the tightening in Maya Johnson's chest. Her fingers, wrapped around the cold metal railing, trembled slightly, not from the wind, but from what she sensed behind her. Then it came. A cruel, mocking laugh sliced through the still air like a blade. "Why don't you just go back where you came from?" Jason Miller sneered loudly, his voice echoing off the stone walls. Before Maya could turn, his shoulder collided with hers hard, sending her sprawling. Her backpack slipped, unzipping midair. Books, loose pages, and a folder of poetry spilled across the wooden planks of the bridge like her dignity had just shattered into 100 pieces. Time seemed to freeze. The other students standing nearby, some walking home, others simply hanging out, stopped cold. Emily Reed, Maya's best friend since kindergarten, stood just a few feet away, her mouth agape and eyes wide with disbelief. No one moved. No one spoke. The sound of water crashing beneath the bridge filled the silence, mocking the helplessness in the air. Maya stayed on her knees for a moment, her palms scraped and stinging against the rough planks. Her face flushed crimson, not just from the fall, but from the shame that burned under her skin. She could feel their eyes, not just Jason's hateful glare, but the awkward stares of those who watched but said nothing. This wasn't new. For weeks, Jason had targeted her with subtle jabs and ugly comments. He'd mimicked the soft lilt of her voice in front of others. He'd asked if she'd used some race card to get her scholarship. He once said her hair looked like a bird's nest trying to explode. It wasn't just ignorance, it was calculated, casual cruelty. Maya had tried to be the bigger person. Her parents, David and Sarah Johnson, both schoolteachers, had taught her resilience, not retaliation. "Don't give him your power," her mother often said. "You are here for a purpose, not for anyone's approval." But today was different. Something inside her cracked, then caught fire. She gathered her scattered pages slowly, with deliberate calm. The last paper she picked up was a poem she had written that very morning. It was meant for herself, a quiet reminder of strength. Now, as she stood, Maya knew it was meant to be heard. She turned toward Jason. He was laughing with two other boys now, clearly satisfied with the scene he'd created. Maya's knees still stung, but she stood taller than she ever had. Her voice, when it came, trembled, but only at first. "You don't know me," she began, eyes locked on Jason. "You don't know where I come from, or what I've overcome to stand here." A hush spread through the crowd. Even the wind seemed to pause. Maya reached into her folder and unfolded the crumpled sheet of paper. Then, with trembling fingers, she began to read. "I am river and fire. I flow with ancient grace. I burn with fierce desire to claim my rightful place. I've walked through storms with open hands. I've planted hope in hardened lands. You see my skin, but not my soul. You try to break what's already whole." The bridge, once filled with whispers and silence, now held only her voice. It echoed strong, proud, alive. Her classmates looked at her, not with pity, but awe. Emily wiped a tear from her cheek. A junior named Carlos clapped once, then twice, and soon others joined. Jason's smirk had vanished. His face, flushed red, betrayed his discomfort. For the first time, he didn't have a comeback. In the following days, something extraordinary happened. A video of Maya's poem, recorded by another student, went viral within the school. Teachers talked about it in class. Principal Thompson called her to his office, not for punishment, but to personally ask if she would perform the full poem during Friday's morning assembly. Standing on stage that morning in front of hundreds of students, Maya's knees nearly gave out from nerves, but her voice didn't. She recited each line with strength and clarity, her words not just addressing Jason's hate, but the silence that had surrounded it. "We all carry stories inside us," she said in her closing line, looking out at the crowd. "Let's choose to listen. To uplift. To speak when it matters." That afternoon, Jason found her outside the cafeteria. His usual swagger was gone. "Hey, Maya," he started, scratching the back of his neck.
I didn't know how much that stuff. I mean, I didn't realize what I was doing. I'm sorry. Really? Maya looked at him for a long second. She could have walked away. But she extended her hand. I forgive you, she said, sincerely. But next time, when you hear someone say what you said, stand up, even if it's not you. That's when it really means something. Word of Maya's courage sparked something at Grayson High. By the end of the semester, the student council launched a weekly event called Bridge of Voices. Every Friday, students gathered under the same bridge where Maya had stood, to share poems, personal stories, music, or simply to listen. It became a space for healing, understanding, and connection. Emily shared a monologue about friendship and silence. Carlos played guitar while reciting a piece on being first-generation American. Even Jason nervously but genuinely read a poem about growth and regret. David and Sarah came every week, proud but humble, letting Maya shine. On graduation day, Maya once again stood on that bridge, now adorned with strings of lights and murals painted by students. She wore her cap and gown with quiet pride, her heart full. As she turned toward her classmates and tossed her cap into the summer sky, she carried with her something far more valuable than a diploma. The unshakable belief that one voice, when used with truth, courage, and love, can spark change. And in that truth, Maya had built not just a bridge across water, but one across hearts.